Hello everyone, this is David Reek, your instructor at the Cable Academy. Today I'm just recording a video of a simple Hello World project in HTML, and then I'm going to show you how to deploy that to GitHub. This video assumes that you have a working GitHub account and that you have Git and VS Code installed on your computer. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, I'm going to go to my coding projects folder. In that folder, I'm going to create a new folder that'll be the name of my project. And I will say Hello World for Students. And notice I'm going to use camel casing where I capitalize the first letter of every word except the first word and use no spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and create that folder. Now, if you're on a Windows computer, you can go in here and say open with code. And I'll open that folder. But another option is if you're on a Mac, that won't be available to you. So I'm going to show one other option. So I'm going to do is open up VS Code. I'm going to change that to a nicer looking theme real quick. All right. And so I'm going to exit. And do open folder. I'm going to go to my coding projects folder. And then I'm going to say Hello World for Students. Select that folder. Now on the left, you have your folder explorer, and you're going to open that. And then everything underneath this Hello World for Students section right here is part of that folder. And I'm going to add a new file. We'll name that index.html. All right, and then here we're going to use Emmet to create the kind of the bones of our project. So we're going to hit a exclamation mark, and then we're going to hit tab, and that's going to create the kind of the boilerplate code for our project. And we want to name our project Hello World. So I'm going to replace the title within our title tag with Hello World, and then within our body, we're going to create an H1 tag. And you're going to notice it's going to have a closing H1 tag there. And within that tag, we're just going to say Hello World. All right. Next up, we're going to create our GitHub repository. So we're going to go open up our browser. And then we're going to go to GitHub. And then once we are in our GitHub profile, we're going to go to this little plus sign right here, and we're going to click New Repository. And you can name your repository Hello World or Hello World 1 or Hello Again, but in this case, I'm going to say Hello World for Students. I'm going to make this a public repository, and then I'm going to click Create Repository. Now up here, we want to make sure that we're using the correct type of encryption for our repository. And here is, you can click to choose between HTTPS and SSH encryption. And SSH encryption is the one we want to use here. And then we can follow these details right here to deploy our code to GitHub. Now in class, we use the git bash terminal, but instead today I'm going to show you a little bit easier way. So I'm going to go back to my VS Code. I'm going to right click here again in this folder area, and I'm going to say open in terminal. And if you look here at the bottom where it says terminal, this actually opens up a terminal that we can use in VS Code, and it's already open to this folder location. So we're going to go back here to our GitHub repository, and we're going to follow these steps line by line. So first we're going to do echo and this command right here, which is going to create a README file that will get uploaded with our project. Next, we're going to do git init, which will create a repository in this Hello World for Students folder. And of course, the repository will be in a .git folder that'll be hidden within this folder, Hello World for Students. Go back to our page. When you git add readme, which will add a readme to our file, our folder, or our repository. But you can also skip this. A readme.md file is not required. It's just often used. All right, we're going to go back. Next, we're going to copy and paste git commit -m -first commit. And one thing I want to just kind of stress here is that first commit is just supposed to describe the project. So you could say first commit or second commit. I'm just going to say making a Hello World project. And this is just describing how you're updating your code when you add commits to your Git repository. All right. And also we want to do git add period, and that's going to add all the files to our repository that are in this folder. And I'm going to do one more commit here. I'm going to do git commit -m. I'm going to say added files to repository. All right. So we go back to our page. And one more thing that we're going to do here is we're going to connect our local repository to our repository on GitHub. So I'm going to copy and paste this git remote add origin. And this is where it becomes really important that you're on the SSH tab and not the HTTPS tab. So I'm going to go back to my folder. I'm going to do git remote add origin. And the last step of deployment is going to go back here and do git push -u origin master. All right. So next up, we're going to go to our repository. And if we hit refresh, you can see here's our index.html and our README file. But there's one last thing that we want to do when we are getting ready to create or finish our project in GitHub. We're going to go to the settings button here. And we're going to scroll down. All the way to GitHub pages. And when we get to GitHub pages, I'm going to go to the source section right here. I'm going to change that to master branch. Now you're going to see something new if you scroll down there again. We're going to go to GitHub pages, and here will be a link to the website we just created. So I'm going to copy that link, and now I'm going to go back to our main repository page. So click the title of your repository, click there, and we're going to click edit, and then we're going to paste that link into our website section of our description. So I hit save. And now, when we look at our Hello World project, you can click here, and you'll see the website we just created. All right. Well, that concludes how to create a Hello World project and to deploy it to GitHub. Hope you guys found this helpful. Thank you much.